Alrighty guys, so welcome back to another video. I want to get started with my spinning rod actually. Don't hate too much in the comments. I just have one spinning rod and I live up north, but I don't really use that many spinning rods that much. Let me point this camera down. So I don't really use that much spinning gear that much, to be honest, for like finesse fishing, unless I really need to. But what this rod is a 13 fishing fake chrome 7-1 medium heavy moderate action tip. And then what I have on here actually is a little Ned rig. That's what I like throwing on this rod. That's like my main finesse fishing setup. I have a little Googan baits drag and drop on this. If you guys haven't seen Googan baits, definitely check them out. If you haven't, you're probably living under a rock by now. I'm sure all you guys have, but if you haven't, check them out. And then what I have on this is a Piscifun Venom. It's a 3000 size reel, I think. And then I have 10-pound mono on this. So moving on to my first bait caster. So this is a Cashin 7.3 jig rod. It's a really nice rod. I like it a lot. It's really light. I just got this like a few months ago. As you can see, obviously, if it's a jig rod, you know what I got on it. A little jig with a Googan Baits trailer and then a green pumpkin. And then I have a 13 fishing Concept Z reel. This is a 7:3-to-1 gear ratio with 17-pound line. Love this reel. Casts really good. Good drag system. Has like 24 pounds max drag, which is unreal. Definitely would recommend this reel if it is in your budget. It is like a $200 reel, but I really like it. So, all right. So this is 13 fishing Defy Black 7.3 medium heavy extra fast action tip. What I throw on this is like any kind of swim bait, really. I got a little underspin on this. It's been working really good lately. This rod retails for like 60 bucks. So moving on to the next rod and reels. If I'm going through this kind of fast. I'm just trying to just kind of roll through this, you know. This is one of my newer setups that I just bought recently. This is a favorite Whitebird 7.4 medium heavy moderate fast action tip. So it's it's not as heavy as a normal rod, I guess you could say, or normal bait caster. What I use with this is weightless stuff, weightless Texas rig. I have a Abu Garcia Revo SX reel on this. It's a 6:6-to-1 gear ratio. I have 14-pound fluorocarbon on this. And I don't know if I said this, but I have 17-pound fluorocarbon on this rod also, or on that reel. But that's kind of my weightless setup, and like poppers, I guess you could say. Kind of switch them out, and really I don't use poppers that much, only like early in the morning, maybe late at night I'll use them. So I can kind of switch them out like that. I don't need a specific rod just for poppers or something like that. So moving on to the next rod, this is an absolute broomstick, guys. This is a 7.6 heavy, extra heavy, extra fast tip. Everything is heavy about this rod. Even the rod is heavy, which I don't know if there's a 7.6 extra heavy rod out there that's lighter than this rod right here. I would like to know, because when you use this for a couple hours, let me just tell you, your arms get tired. But I use this for my frogging setup. As you can see, just got a little frog on there right now. This is the Inception 13 fishing Inception. It's an 8:1-to-1 gear ratio. This has a ton of drag. Like, I think this is like 24 pounds of drag. Don't quote me on that. Really good reel. It's a total workhorse. I can set the hook on this thing. The drag has never slipped. It's a total beast of a reel. Fits good in the palm of my hand. I can palm it really good. If you do want to get into frogging, I would consider getting not this rod. I mean, if you want to get this rod, you can, but I'm not saying you have to get this rod. Just get a 7.6 heavy, or just anything really heavy action rod, because you want to be able to get those hooks right there into that fish's mouth. And if you don't have anything heavier than a heavy rod, then you're gonna have a hard time doing that. I'm not saying you can't, just gonna be harder to get those hooks in that fish's mouth. So just a little tip. Next rod we have here is another favorite. This is a favorite absolute, 7.2, heavy, moderate, fast action tip. So you got the backbone. This is my flipping setup. I got 40 pound braid on this. And also, I didn't say that. I don't know if I did or not, but I have 50 pound braid on this for my frogging setup. This is a Shimano Cannon 6:3:1 gear ratio. I think this only has like 13 pounds of drag, but actually it's not too bad. Little crack and craw on that. And then just like a 1/2 ounce bullet weight. So, or maybe it's 3/8 ounce, I don't know, something like that. So moving on to the next one. This is a Savage Gear browser rod. It's a 7.4 medium heavy. It's a moderate action. I don't know. It doesn't really say what action of a tip it is, but I would consider it like a moderate. It's a little bit of a softer tip, which I like for jerk baits, but it has the backbone, so I can flip those fish in that boat. I can get really long casts with this. This is a 13 Fishing Origin TX, 7:3:1 gear ratio. I got 14 pound fluorocarbon on that also. Moving on to the next rod, this is my chatterbait rod. This is a 7.1 medium heavy extra fast tip. It's a 13 Fishing Fate Chrome. And then I have a Abu Garcia Black Max on this with 14 pound fluorocarbon on this also. And then I have, this is a 6:4:1 gear ratio. So to be honest, for 50 bucks, this reel, you can't really beat it in my opinion. No, is it as good as like this Abu Garcia? No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel as good. It's not as light. This one feels nice and light. And it feels heavier duty. This is plastic and it kind of feels heavier. But on the other hand, it still can catch just as big as fish than this $150 reel. So, I mean, you don't need expensive gear to catch fish. You definitely don't. You can catch just as big a fish on this $50 reel than this $150 reel. So, just wanted to point that out. But moving on to the next rod and reel combo. So this is another 13 Fishing Defy Black. It's a 7.3 medium heavy extra fast. This is my spinnerbait rod. I have a Shimano Corrado. This is a 6:2:1 gear ratio. I have 17 pound line on this. So it's a really nice reel. I like it a lot. Is it worth 180 bucks? You can definitely tell, like just feeling it, it is well made. I can palm it pretty good. Is it my favorite reel? I don't know if I would say that. I do think it's worth it, but on the other hand, I think some of my cheaper reels catch just as good or maybe better than this reel. So this is a 7.3, I think. Don't quote me, it doesn't say on the rod, but I'm trying to remember. I think this is a 7.3 medium action rod. It's got a bigger backbone to it, but this is a Uribe. I got it for free on an online giveaway on Instagram. It's my crankbait rod. And then the reel I have on this is a Shimano Casitas 6:3:1 gear ratio with 12 pound fluorocarbon on it. I don't know, it's worked really good for me. It's a nice crankbait rod because it's a softer tip, so I don't jerk those treble hooks out of that fish's mouth or anything, and I can get really long casts with it too, so that's kind of nice. And it's super light too, I mean. So that's all my rod and reels for 2019. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of a little bit different, just like I said, the weather isn't really prime for fishing right now in Michigan, so I just figured I'd kind of sit down with you guys, talk about all my rod and reels, what I and as you can see, I have a ton of different companies. I'm not sponsored or anything like that by any of these people. It's just what I use, what I like. I've tried out, I want to try out as many companies as possible. but mainly my reels, I like sticking with 13 Fishing and Shimano. And just like I said, if you haven't checked out my recent videos, definitely go and check them out, especially the last one. It's crazy, 10 pounds, 2 casts. So just think about that. You already know what's about to happen. It's an unreal video. Definitely check it out. But other than that, I want to just thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate the support. It's unreal. I'm going to be making a lot more videos, so definitely stay tuned for that. But other than that, I think I'm peacing out. And just like I said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment down below. And thanks for watching. I'm peacing out.